So, Ronald, is that you? What's going on, guys and girls? My name is James, or ThnxCya, and welcome back to another Minecraft mod spotlight. And today we are going to be taking a look at the fantastic Rediscovered mod. But the weird thing about this mod is it's kind of not a mod at all. Because the Rediscovered mod actually reintroduces old features that were actually at once implemented into Minecraft at some stage, and it is the unused, the unwanted, and the forgotten features. So yeah, all of these are no longer in Minecraft, but at one point they were. And believe me, there are some really strange things that at one point may have got into the game. So I thought we'd start with probably the strangest, and it's actually a brand new dimension that was supposed to be, like, you know, a new dimension introduced after the Nether, but they decided to kind of scrap it and go with the end, and this was actually called the Sky Dimension. Cue butter joke. So yeah, the Sky Dimension is, well, it's kind of weird, and how you get there, you don't actually get there with a portal, you actually get there with this. Now this is a bed, and as you may or may not have noticed, it's blue, and our beds are not blue. So this is the dream bed. Let's try that again. So yeah, this is the dream bed, and this is how you make it. So you're gonna have to have 3 pieces of blue wool, like so. It has to be blue, otherwise it doesn't work. You've got 2 pieces of wood, and then just 1 glowstone in the middle, and then that will give you this dream bed. So the dream bed acts like a portal, and it takes you to this sky dimension, which is just really odd. So yeah, let's go and jump in straight away. Now, the first thing you'll see when you actually spawn into the sky dimension is that you'll spawn in a house. This is not your house. This could be, you know, you could spawn anywhere in this bed and you will always spawn in this house, but this is essentially your gateway back into the real world. So as you can see here, we already have a few new features which we're going to be taking a look at a little bit later on. But yeah, this is your sort of spawn point, and then this is the sky dimension. So it's kind of like a big massive floating islands, and the cool thing is that it does actually contain some pretty awesome things which we're going to be taking a look at. So yeah, I think we should go and find the first one. Okay, so this is where it starts to get a little bit weird. This is actually a village that only spawns in the sky dimension, and this is called the Pigman Village. Now, yeah, there's a few things in here which I will explain in a second because they are very odd. But yeah, this is a village that only spawns in here, and it is inhabited not by villagers that we know and love, but by pigmen. But as well as that, it's also inhabited by a few other creatures which are very strange. So yeah, let's try and find some of the residents. I wonder where you're all hiding. I think you're all inside. Let's have a look at this. Ta-da! Oh! Okay, so this is one of them. Now, this is the green Npc Villager. Now, this does actually have a skin for it still in our real Minecraft, but this was kind of scrapped and not naturally spawning. So, as you can see here, we do have one villager, which is in a jail. Now, the whole point of this is basically this is like an evil version of the Npc villagers in the overworld, and these ones are inhabited by the pigmen. So, there's kind of like a pigman Npc Villager rivalry, which I kind of like the idea of, to be honest. Yeah, I did mention it's going to get weird. I'll come to those in a second. But these are the main... Oh, Ronald has evolved! What the hell is going on here? These are the main inhabitants of this village, and these are the pigmen. Not the zombie pigmen, the pigmen. So these guys actually do trades, much like normal villagers, but as you can see here, you actually use rubies. Now, rubies were an ore that was actually kind of nearly into the game, but Jeb decided to go with emeralds instead. But rubies are actually slightly better because they are easier to find naturally in the world, and all of these NPC pigmen, I guess, trade with rubies. So you kind of get roughly the same amount of trades. You get sort of leather boots and clocks and more rubies and stuff like that. So there are sort of some pretty similar. This is just barbaric. Look at this. He's selling his own steak. I thought it was pork chops. We're all good there. And so yeah, as you can see, it's kind of like this kind of weird rivalry where this is the currency for emeralds and the other one is the currency for yeah, this is rubies, the other one is emeralds. Now, you kind of have some really cool buildings in here as well. You have like this watchtower, and what actually happens here, this one has got slightly destroyed, but, ooh, that's another new item. But you do have some really good loot chests in here. Now, as well as that, there are also, although they're not currently spawning in here, let's just grab them. You actually have 3 different types of pigmen. So these are hostile villagers, I should point out, and you're going to have to be careful when you're coming here. So this one is the normal pigman, however this one is the melee pigman, so he's got a sword. This one is hostile and he'll come and hit you, and also you have this one here which is the ranged pigman, which is kind of like an archer. Now the ranged pigman kind of spawns in this archery tower, although for some reason this one's got a little bit destroyed. So you have to fight your way up here, but of course there is a loot chest in here with some really nice gear in it, including the Quiver and the leather tunic with Quiver, which we'll take a look at a little bit later on. Now, I'm sure you've been wondering what the hell these things are that are walking around. Yeah, about that. These are called the Lost Mobs. Now, I have no idea what these actually mean, but effectively, these were added by a guy called Doc, who used to work for Mojang, but they were removed when he left. So originally, none of them had moving animations, but then they were kind of like fixed for this mod. So they actually have names, would you believe? Some of them are a bit dodgy. You've got Steve, which we don't actually see just yet, because Steve and Lana, I think her name was, what was it again? Rana? They actually spawn in normal villages, but then you've got Black Steve and Beast Boy. We'll call him African American Steve for the sake of it. But these actually spawn in the Pigman villages. So the ones that you actually see here are hostile, and they're just really, really weird. These don't fit into Minecraft at all. Like, I could see this in, like, a Minecraft 2 or 3. Kind of like that weird plus animation style, but I don't particularly like them that much at all. So I can kind of see why they got taken away. This is just Steve. Oh, they must actually spawn in here as well. Okay, so this is Steve. This is, like, newer Steve, if that makes sense. What's the green one in here? Who are you? Are you a Rana? Okay, Rana. Something like that, Rana. I'm going to call it Rana. And we actually have two more, which haven't actually spawned. So this is Black Steve and You're going to see why it's a bit dodgy, because, yeah, that's a terrible name. Yeah, he's got, like, really cool white hair, though, and eyebrows, and really weird, creepy eyes. And then this one here is Beast Boy. So these are the two hostile ones, and the other two over there are the passive ones, I believe. And, yeah, just really, really weird. So they kind of drop string and feathers and gunpowders and flint and steel, which is rare. But just, yeah, I can't really work that one out, to be honest with you. But anyway, this is the Pigman Village. Now, as well as that, actually, this place does have more stuff spawning, and I wonder if we can see any from just the top here. I don't know if we can see any just yet. So what I will do is I will meet you when we have found one. Okay, I found one. The size of this. So in this dreamlike world, oh my god, okay, and that as well. Oh god, that was going to be my second point, but it seems to have come quite easily. So you actually do have giants which spawn in this world. So massive zombies, 100 health, so they're going to be pretty tough. But as well as that, you do also have this randomly spawning red dragon, which is, it's kind of like, as you can see, they sort of adapted this and they made the end, which I think they did that way better than this, because this is just really confusing. Although it is kind of like a dream world, so it does make sense. We have already just lost that red dragon, but we'll just get another one, actually. We'll get another one. So yeah, the red dragon is actually a dragon which spawns only in this dimension, and I've forgotten how to, oh, there we go. And yeah, it's kind of like exactly the same as the ender dragon, but it's red. So yeah, think of that what you will. So this was going to be like the boss that was supposed to spawn in this world. Really, really strange looking, I've got to say. Very cool, actually. I quite like it. But yeah, that was supposed to spawn in here. So what's the point of it? Well, nothing really just yet. You've got to remember that these are sort of unimplemented features. So the things that they've done with them aren't exactly finished, but they do kind of make some sort of sense. So what we'll do is we'll just get a ridiculously powered bow here and finish this guy off just to show you what happens when you actually kill him. And this is actually a couple of new items that have not yet, or they've never got implemented, but yeah, let's just destroy him quickly. Blub, 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 blub. There we go. What actually happens when you destroy him, you get your XP as normal, but you get this weird little shrine here, so you do get your red dragon egg, which you can take home, but as well as that, you do also get this item here called Crying Obsidian. Now, the Crying Obsidian can actually be made from 1 obsidian and 4 pieces of lapis. It doesn't do anything. It's purely an aesthetic block, but I really like it. I think this is an awesome decorational block, and it would give you something else to do with obsidian. So I thought I'd just show you that whilst I'm here. But yeah, this is the dream world. Not too sure what I think about this, to be honest with you. It's a little bit random. Let's just kill this in one hit. This bow is disgraceful. 123 power. But yeah, this is the dream world. Very, very strange. But don't worry, we still have loads more amazing items to take a look at. So what I think we'll do is we'll actually jump back to the overworld here, and I'll set up a little demonstration, and we'll take a look at loads of the other cool items that never made it into our version. Okay, so welcome back. Yeah, we've seen the sky dimension and it was absolutely mad, but yeah, we've got some really nice items here. Some of these I actually think should be in the proper version still, so it's a bit of a shame that they've been taken out. So we're going to work our way around here quickly and I'm going to show you what we have. But yeah, I think we're just going to start here very quickly just to do a bit of a recap. This was actually the tree that you saw in the sky dimension, so it's called the cherry tree, and although it doesn't produce cherries, it has this beautiful like slightly pink wood, like a cherry style wood. That's the log, and you know, you've got a stair block and a half slab. I really like that color. I don't know about you, I don't know what I'd use it for, but I kind of like that color. I think it's pretty cool. So that's one of the trees which is found in the sky dimension. Now, as well as that, in terms of just some very basic stuff, we do actually have some different half slabs here. So we've got smooth half slabs. We also have a dirt half slab, which is in this mod, which was at one point, I believe Notch used the dirt slabs to test the slabs, so we just use that texture. So I think it's quite cool that it's in here. And then also just a couple of hostile mobs whilst we are sort of in this area here. You may have seen these from the Lucky Block mod actually, so I didn't realize that these were actually part of something that Minecraft used to be, but these two mobs actually spawn at night, and these are the skeleton horse and the zombie horse, and as you may have guessed, these are hostile. So yeah, these are hostile moobs. They're not very friendly at all, and they have 40 health, so they're pretty strong. As you can see, they come at you straight away. But yeah, I just love the textures of these. You can actually have these in the Lucky Block mod as well. Oh, no, 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 no. Ah, my demonstration. Okay, so I got quite lucky then. Fortunately, not that much stuff exploded. Doesn't matter what version you're playing, creepers are always creeping. But okay, so let's actually get started here. Let's start from the beginning. So just to introduce a few of those blocks that we also saw in the other dimension, this is the Crying Obsidian, which is made from 1 obsidian and then 4 lapis around it. It's just an aesthetic block. It doesn't do anything, but I really like the texture of it. I think it looks awesome. And as well as that, the new ore that's actually found, which was never implemented, is the ruby ore. So this is the currency used to trade in the Pigman Villages, and as you can see here, it's got a really nice ore texture and it's got a nice sort of block texture as well. Very, very cool. Now the next one here is actually the sponge. Now it's kind of coincidental really, because we are getting the sponge back as a working sponge in Minecraft 1.8. That was in the latest, the second to last snapshot. Now this is actually a working sponge, much like the one that you're going to get in Minecraft 1.8, but just in case you haven't ever seen the working sponge before, let's just run over to this water. Hopefully it does work. There you go. It does exactly the same thing that it's going to do in the latest version, but it will take away, in this case it will take away a 5x5, but I believe in the other version it will take away a 7x7, and as you can see the water flows back, so very, very cool. Now, this one is kind of weird, and I think this will be very nostalgic to quite a few people here, because the first thing we're going to take a look at here is this quiver. Now, the quiver allows you to quick fire your bow and arrow, much like how the bow and arrow used to be before they had, you know, the gauge where you had to pull it back. So how do you make the quiver? Very simple. 6 leather, 1 feather, 1 string, and then you're just going to have a chest plate here as well. So what you can do is you do that, you stick 2 pieces of string there, and then 1 feather at the top, and then that will give you the quiver. And you can actually strap this on your back sort of as is basically, so you can do it like that. It looks really, really cool. Love the model on it. Very awesome indeed. But you can also combine it with a chest plate, so you can both have the quiver and you can have that extra protection. So once again, just chest plate in, and then any chest plate and any quiver, boom, you'll get a diamond chest plate with quiver. And you can do this with leather, chain, gold, iron, diamond. Now, as well as that, they also have this really weird armor called leather chain chest plate, which is like a leather / chain hybrid, which was never introduced. Really, really weird, but I thought I'd just show you it anyway. But yeah, what happens is if we actually put this on, so we're going to put that on then. And then we're going to grab ourselves a bow. There we go. And if we just literally hold down right click, it allows us to quick fire like this. And I do actually believe that it also buffs the damage of the arrows up. It might increase the critical chance or something like that. I think so anyway. But yeah, it gives you a quick fire. So this is kind of like how bow and arrows used to be. So if you're kind of like in combat and you're struggling a bit and there's loads and loads of mobs, you can literally just spray and pray. And you can do that. So that's the quiver. I kind of like that. I think it's pretty cool. I can understand why they took it out though, because I can understand that, but it's pretty cool nonetheless. So, moving on, they actually had one little water mob. Now, of course, we have fish in the water, and we're getting we've had like loads of new fish and stuff, but in terms of an actual sprite that swims around, these were the fish that were implemented. I don't really know why they got rid of these, to be honest. I would quite like to see some little fishies swimming around. They look kind of strange, but at the same time, you know, it's quite nice to have some fishes swimming around. So yeah, they don't really do that much. They're very, very weak. They've got 4 health. But yeah, these were supposed to be in the Halloween update, actually. Never ever came, but yeah, I kind of like them nonetheless. I wish they'd introduce something like that back so we can actually see stuff in our water, but very, very nice all the same. Now, this is another one of Notch's creations. Now, everyone hated this, and I'll show you for why in a second, but this is the lantern. Now, it's kind of made really straightforward, actually, just 2 iron and a glowstone dust, and that'll give you this lantern. But the thing about it is, it actually does... you know, it does give off light and stuff, so you can use it as a lamp. But the thing is about it is, if you actually have it in your inventory, anywhere that you walk, it will be lit up. As you can see here, we're walking through the darkness and we are lighting it up. So you don't even have to have it in your hand, you just have to have it in your inventory. Now, people had a bad reaction to this because they were kind of like, well, I want to place torches when I go. And it would completely negate the whole point of having torches when mining and stuff like that, because you can literally see exactly where you're going at all times, but only in a certain radius. So I don't think it's the worst idea, but I can understand why people wanted to get rid of it. I'd prefer actually if they just introduced it back as a standalone item, because I think aesthetically it looks really nice. And yeah, I'd quite like to see that back actually. Maybe not for the sort of AoE walkie around thing, but I do quite like it. But yeah, anyway, finally, we've got to something which, once again, I don't understand why. But this is the table, the chair, and this is a really cool like Lectern style thing. But yeah, the table and the chair are great because you can actually sit in them. So you don't have to make those hideous looking chairs with, you know, a staircase and 2 signs. You can actually have furniture in your house. It doesn't seem like too much of an ask, really. That's the Lectern. We'll come back to that in a second. So the table and chair, really cheap, just wood like so, bang table, wood like chair, there we go. And then this Lectern thing is cool because when you right click it, you can actually open a book on it, so it's kind of like an aesthetic thing, but it's very, very cool looking. That's just a gold ingot, 2 pieces of wood, and then a book on top. I imagine they wanted to adapt this so you could put your own books on it, and then you could maybe like read them off it and stuff like that. But aesthetically, it looks great. It looks really, really nice. Let's just get rid of that table there. It looks really, really nice, so yeah, I like that a lot. And the table and chair are great. I don't know why, but, you know, Minecraft, Mojang, I'm sure they have their reasons. But okay, so moving on to the next one. Now, this is something that I think a lot of people would really, really like. Unfortunately, this didn't really work when they were testing it. And in this particular mod, it doesn't really work at the moment anyway. But these are called gears. And this was a way to try and make vertical redstone. So I don't know why they can't just put the powder on the walls, maybe make it into a paste, something like that. But these gears were kind of like an adaptation to try and make vertical redstone, and yeah, they never really got introduced and stuff, but you kind of power it and then they should spin around and little redstone thing, but they don't currently work in this mod. But I like that idea. I think a lot of redstoners would like that. And as well as that, just a couple of random items. They actually wanted to introduce jumping potions, blindness potions, slow mining potions, and nausea potions. Other than really... See, we can do all this with command blocks now anyway, so these are pretty pointless. But at one point, they were thinking about putting them in. So we've only got a couple more items left. Now the first one here is very cool. These are spikes, and this is just like a trap. So these are kind of cool. I'm sure you can make these into mob traps and all that kind of thing. So they would potentially work really nicely. 2 pieces of iron and 3 oak wood planks, and they look pretty damn nifty. You can put them in a pit like this, and then anything that falls in will get spiked. So I've seen these in like trap style mods. They work really nicely, so that's a bit of a shame. And then finally the the weirdest item I think out of all of them, and I've saved it for last. This is the lock chest. Now, the lock chest was intended to be a little bit of a practical joke, and in essence, it's a chest that cannot be opened. But they went a bit further than that, and basically, when you open it, it disappears, and you're kind of thinking, where has it gone? I mean, why is it... Oh, God, there we go. You see? How stupid is that? So basically, right, you sneak into your friend's house, you replace this chest with something like that. Actually, you know what? Let's just get out our lantern. Where is it? Where is it? Lantern, where are you? I don't know where they keep you. Oh, there you are. Let's put that in. Hey, that's really useful. So yeah, that you sneak into their house, you put a chest down, and everything they love gets destroyed. So I don't really think that would have been a great idea, but that is the lock chest. That is a normal chest with a piece of TNT in a crafting bench, and it gives you the lock chest, and then you can just blow up your friend's stuff. But yeah, okay, so that is it for this mod. Really, really cool. Just remember that all of these things were at one point in some stage of a Minecraft development, and yeah, they're not actually modded at all, so some really cool things. It makes you wonder, like, what else was in Minecraft that we've missed out on. But yeah, very, very cool nonetheless. So if you enjoyed it, please remember to leave a like. If we could get over 1,000, that would be awesome. Thank you so much for your continued support, and also, if you're not yet subscribed, go for it. We do Minecraft Done Fun. Also, you have to pick one item, only one which you could put back into Minecraft. Which one would you pick? I'm actually gonna go with... Oh, that's tricky, isn't it? I've asked myself too hard a question. I'm going to go with the Pigman Villages, but don't put them in a new dimension, just have them spawning, and then the NPC Villagers and the Pigman Villagers could have some kind of like trading rivalry, that kind of thing. I'd maybe introduce some new villages, a bit like the Pigman Village, into Minecraft. But yeah. Okay, so until next time, thank you once again for watching. It's been such a pleasure. As always, thanks. See ya!